Hello and welcome. It is December 10th, 1941, and we're back with another day in our struggle against the Allies in Yamamoto's Folly. Yesterday we had exciting combat near the Marshall Islands, and today starts out with a bang as well. I have several submarines in Makassar Strait, and the Houston takes 2 fish on its way south. SSI-71 doing great work there. Have some surface combat. My cruisers find just a little AVP. They should be able to dispatch it without incident, and they do. 8 hits and sunk. That's up here in the Sulu Sea. We have some more action, it looks like, in the South China Sea as well. My subs keep finding mines at Hong Kong. Wow, that was pretty disastrous. One of my LSDs does go down. Oh, look at this. Looks like 4 torpedo hits. One of them looked like it might have been a dud on the Dominion Monarch by SI-122. I have several subs in this area. It's commonplace for them to try to come through north of Batavia, south of Osthaven, then head up towards Ceylon, or to Cape Town, or to Akyab. Any case, yeah, 4 torpedo hits. She's a big ship, but she was hit earlier as well, so she might go down. Yeah, we hear the sinking sound. That could be it. Find a Dutch sub, or a Dutch sub finds us, but does no damage in this ASW attack. And we have an ASW attack off of Laihana. I'm kind of here on the American coast, trying to catch this shipping headed south, but I run into that DD group instead of any shipping. No, we're finding more mines at Hong Kong, guys. Oh, man. What a day. Now, interestingly enough, I sortied all sorts of surface task forces at full speed yesterday to try to intercept that carrier group off of Roy Namur. None of them made contact. I'm just going to move the map over real quick. I just want to see what the disposition is right now of this carrier task forces. So yeah, they all moved away, and none of my task forces made it in time. That's unfortunate. Let's count some hexes here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 or 7 hexes away for these two. I may still be able to hit them with Kate strikes. Flying here, escorted Kate strikes. This stuff should be under OK cap. But I really hoped that I would have ran into some of the task forces and delayed them a little bit. Instead, he's bugging out. He took a pounding in the air yesterday, so I don't blame him for not continuing to be aggressive right there. We'll see what happens. I'm worried about these task forces there that I sorted out now that they're not under the direct air cover of Kwajalein and Roy Namur. Anyway, back to the Philippines. We're doing some sweeping. Doing some sweeping, few places, just keeping the air safe for our bombers. Over Hong Kong, we run into a little bit of resistance, and we take out a Hurricane with no loss. For sweeping, we're just gonna go through that sweeping, and it looks like he's trying to sweep with some B-33-9Ds on Miri. I do have Oscars there that I've brought to cap the hex, and we trade one plane for another there. High altitude sweep for a B-33-9D there at 25,000 feet. Alright, so very small Betty strike. Flies out and is met with good cap. Almost certainly not going to do anything there. Yep. That's sad to see. If I lose a 0, he loses a Buffalo. Some Seagulls tried to get cheeky and bomb my landing force. Oh no, they were acting as cap. Never mind. But Betties are going after the port yet again. I have to sink some of these ships. And it looks like, what, 2 PTs are sunk. I almost wonder if he's creating PTs at Manila just to give my bombers more targets so they don't hit on other ships. I know some do start there anyway, so. But yeah, no more ships sunk. Sweeping over Rangoon. Ooh, the AVG group is giving as good as they get there. And I lose 2 zeros, but we do take out 7 of their aircraft. Betties, again, we're going after that port, trying to sink some of these ships. We do get a ship sinking sound clip playing, so something went under there. Mabel's just keeping the Quangchaoan airfield closed. Do some decent damage to those planes, keeping them from flying. These Mabels seem to be going after the port. I'm going to have to change that that mission. Looks like he does have some cap up over Clark Field. My zeros run into. Yeah, damaged by zeros there. 4 losses, that's not good. And I trade even numbers. I can't be doing that with zeros. I have to get better odds than that. This time I lose 1 0, he loses 3. Some cap over Georgetown. We're going to pace that airbase. And just light hits on it, though, to destroy a fighter on the ground. Little light bombing attack there, and there as well, but nothing of consequence. Going after the Hong Kong runway, try to take out these Hurricanes and Buffaloes that are basing out of there. It doesn't look like, yeah, we have 1 destroyed Ida on our side, but don't really do much to the airfield. 21 runway hits and that's it. Lily's going after the Georgetown runway again just trying to destroy some planes on the ground. Damage some, but don't destroy any. Lily's going after Hong Kong runway, do some runway hits. Run into a little bit of cap here near Nanchang. But no planes are lost. My Nates are still capping Henkao. But the bombers do get through and do some damage there. They have to move some more substantial cap in. They do take, do 5 runway hits. Nothing major, but I would like to start shooting down some of those bombers. More Buffalo sweeps, to no effect. B-17s try to hit Babel Doab. A few get through, do a little bit of damage. We do lose a Mavis on the ground, but we take out 1 of the B-17s. More come in, Liberators this time, and this time our zeros do not make the intercept. A little more sweeping of Rangoon. We take out an H-81A3. Go after the port here at Cebu, flying from Babel Daub. And these Betties do a good job. Really solid hits on all of these ships. Not going to sink anything, but if we keep it up, we're either going to force them out of Cebu or sink them in port. Another little sweep here, and sweeping Singapore. Actually, I'm sweeping just north of Singapore, I find it more effective sometimes to do the sweeps on an adjacent hex to where the planes are based, because you have less kind of coming up from the hex. And 4 destroyed with no losses. I'll take it. Some sallies going after ships at anchor here. They do a great job putting bombs in quite a few of the shipping docked at Hong Kong, even though I lose 2 destroyed to flak. Some more bomb hits on these ships. Betties unfortunately fly unescorted into his cap. That's not going to end well for my Betties. Several do go through. They're not going to score any hits. Disappointing. Val's just keeping that runway closed. I may have to change the altitude on those so they don't pick up so much flak. Again, just going after these ships at anchor. Does sound like we do sink one. More Betties flying without cap. That's disappointing. I do have zeros at Roy Namur, at Quagellan, that can be flying these escort missions, but they are not. On to PM air operations. Four Betties go in, Cornell's, excuse me. No allied losses, no hits. Still some cap above Park Field here. And I take some losses in Kate's here due to flak and the fighters. Though 2 of his fighters are destroyed, I should say. Another strike on Cebu. Just keeping Cebu Field closed. Just kind of the KB2 here doing that work. Lose a couple strike craft, but lots of planes destroyed on the ground. Look at that. That's really good news. And more hits on the ships in port. Going after the airfields here, I believe he has some 4-engine bombers here, but I don't find out. I just trade a 0 for a Warhawk, and that's about it. Little runway damage at Batangas. One more light bottoming on Georgetown. And despite all my sweeps of Rangoon, he's still putting up a good cap over the hex. I lose a couple sallies in the combat. Followed by another group of sallies here. Looks like I'm losing a few more. Yeah, after intercept there, I lose 4 sallies. He loses 2 fighters. Not a good trade. I'm gonna have to raise the altitude of these. They're just getting beat up a little too much by the flak and Rangoon. 49 Betties go after the ground forces that were at Miri and have been forced out. Gonna start softening these up so I can take Brunei as well. Still not, so some escort flies, but not as much escort as I would like. Still 23 Betties. That's a decent strike package if these zeros can keep enough of this cap off of Betties, but they can't. And my Betties take a pounding here. That's a shame. Lose a Betty and a 0. He loses a Buffalo and a Wildcat, but I do not make contact with the carriers. Betty's find some ships at Soriyaba, but they're well protected by Cap. I'm going to lose some more Bettys, probably. Yeah, 3 Bettys destroyed. I'll have to change the range, so I'm not flying into Soriyaba. That's going to be much too well protected for me to run missions into. These Bettys are at Miri. I just flew them in there yesterday. And that's it for the the air phase. Really disappointed at what happened here at the Marshall Islands. The fact that none of these surface task forces made contact with his before they escaped, and the fact that I had other attack craft here at Roy Namur, at Quejellan Island that should have flown, and they didn't. I also had more Zero escorts here that I felt should have gone out with those flights, but they just never put a well-coordinated strike together. That being said, he didn't strike my ships either, which tells me he's probably trying to conserve his planes as well after yesterday when he lost quite a bit. And this was kind of the one scenario that I was afraid of, like, hey, if he does this, I'm not sure if I can catch him if he just sails due east, and that's kind of what he's doing. If he had gone north or south or tried to go west, I knew that I could have caught him. Mutsu, been bombarding Wen Cow. Not a lot of damage. I need to spot there at Wen Cow. Shock attack on the road here. One to 2 odds. Take a lot of casualties. I'll have to see why I shock attacked here. That was not a good choice on my part, and my army gets pretty beat up. I bombard at Hong Kong. Just this turn, the rest of my forces moved into Hong Kong, so when I had the orders yesterday, they weren't all there, so I didn't want to attack yet until I had the full weight of my forces in the Hex. So today, we'll do some attacking. I just wanted to start softening them up a little bit. Looks like, yeah, we can take it. I'm confident in that. Take Leog. And I tried to take Porto Princia with some paratroopers, but it looks like they aren't able to take the Hex. Not enough of them made it. And that looks like it for the turn. Let's take a quick look and see how things panned out at the end of the day here. So we're going to take a quick look at air losses. So today, he took 122, I took 98. Zero's still taking the brunt of my losses. A lot of Bettys lost today too. That makes sense. We were flying some Bettys and those strikes at the Marshall Islands. Also, some Bettys came in unescorted or were caught by Cap in a few other places. Lots of Sallies lost too. Decent amount of flak. Again, I need to raise the altitude on some of these twin-engine bombers, just so we're not getting chewed up by flak as much. A few Buffaloes and Warhawks and H-81A3s destroyed. 9 SP2U Vindicators on the ground. I wonder if that was from Cebu. That's probably where that was from. Alright, so that's the day. The campaign we're sitting at, I've lost 379, he has lost 788 planes. So pretty high attrition so far. Let's look at ships sunk. First at mine. And 2 more LSDs that were hit yesterday go down. I kind of expected it. Their fires were very, very high. And Japanese damage control isn't very good. And her poor midget subs at Hong Kong just can't help themselves but to find every single mine in the Hong Kong harbor. So, expensive minesweepers. That's great, guys. Let's look at allied ships. So they are reporting the Houston sunk. I'm not sure if that's true, but that would be nice. Also reporting Dominion Monarch sunk. That also would be nice. And it's like the Heron, Don Jose. Heron was that little AVP. A AKL at Manila, and a transport ship at Hong Kong. Let's see if any losses were admitted. Our ops report here. They're just admitting the HDML on 1941. The good news is that at Kwajalein Island, we still have the task force with the Tsukikyo, which is very badly damaged, but you know what? It's no longer on fire, so it will survive. We also have the bulk of the invasion force. It did survive as well. We're going to disband this task force and sort everything out in a bit. So that's where he was. Got this group of subs right here. I'm not sure if I can interpose them in time between him, and it looks like he's headed up to Midway with his 4 carrier groups. Yeah, or I want to just check range here. So hide Kates at 9 hexes. Oh man, they were just on edge of their range. Just on the edge. Look at all these surface task forces I flooded this area with. I really hoped they would have caught a couple of these task forces and just slowed them down a little bit. In any case, I'll vector these subs in the way. We'll do some damage control here and save what we can. And then we have some reinforcements coming, right? So got the KB on its way. It'll be a few turns. Here at Truck, I do have the Hosho at port here. And yeah, I can put something together so that it's not a problem for Marshall Islands again. Honestly, with all of the air that I now have at Marshall Islands, he's going to have a tough time coming back. But we'll reassemble an invasion task force for Wake. We'll make sure that it's fully supported and try again. Wake is just cursed for me, I think. I always have trouble with Wake for some reason. Probably because I don't support my invasions very well. Let's talk a little bit about what is going to happen. So, invasion task forces are headed to Telod Elandon, are headed toward Jolo. We'll continue to reinforce at Porto Princia and try to take this from the Allies. Between here, here, and here, as well as Muri, I'm going to have some great places to cover the rest of my invasions. If I take these hexes, put zeros and Bettys here, then I have air cover when I take Minato, when I take Ternate. I have air cover when I take Terracon, when I take Donggala. So these are just kind of the stepping stones that I'm taking as I'm moving south. And then eventually we'll take Mindanao, and we'll kind of work from the outside in here, Luzon and Mindanao, and then we'll move in on all these little islands in the middle of the Philippines that are always just kind of a pain to take. Malaya is going a little bit slowly. Things are in motion there, and in the next couple days we should start seeing some ground combat, hopefully, as I move him south. Miri is set up really nicely right now. We have another task force unloading here. Need to get some more supplies there, but yeah, we've got a good Betty squadron, good Oscar squadron, and good air support here. Lots of aviation support for those squadrons. Hong Kong will be attacked today for the first time. Still some ships in port there that will attack. I'm not seeing any more ships at port at Manila. I'm seeing one at Bataan. So I'm not sure if some were scuttled or what happened there. Let's look at our point total, by the way. At just 251, we're at 292. Those LSDs just really were costly as far as point losses, as well as that CVE. Looks like he may be able to maybe running some ships along the coast of Sarawak, in which case we'll need to block it with some surface forces, see if we can't sink those ships. And that's it for the turn. I'll keep plugging away at it, but thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. And if you have any questions, we'll see you in the Discord. Take care, everyone.